you believe when it seems you are glad with what you do? Give you courage to carry. Give you courage to carry. Courage to carry your spirit up on high. Oh, just to carry your spirit up on high. I saw people in trouble, yes, heard the angels cry. And I don't tamper with my children, no, no, make the devil fly. Spent the night with David, he taught me what to say. Well, I was looking for a smooth stone when I heard him pray. Could you believe in a dream when I tell you that it's true? And could you believe, precious friend of mine? And would you believe when it seems you are glad with what you do? It'll give you courage to carry, the courage to carry, courage to carry your freedom up on high, child. Go ahead and carry your freedom up on
My name is Norman K. Spencer. I'm principal of Benjamin Franklin High School. I had the distinct pleasure and opportunity to meet Jerry Bardock a few months ago when he came as a representative of Roman Haas Corporation to do some work here at Benjamin Franklin High School. A budding young author, a good role model. He presented an idea, a project that I could not resist. He remembered all the times and problems and successes he had trying to go to college and attain whatever success he has thus far. And he wanted to share that with students. He believed that his book could share his ideas and give them inspiration for the future. I also agreed with him after previewing the book titled Reaching for the Moon. I always told the kids to reach for the stars and beyond, but the moon's okay too. So we talked about it, and we were able to solicit one of our classes to read the book and then have the young ladies and gentlemen make comments on it, real honest comments on how did it affect them. Do they believe, is the story believable? Could this have happened in this time and age? And not to our surprise, but we were pleasantly pleased that most of the young people believed the book, believed that it could help them, and has inspired them to look for their goals in life. And here are some comments from those students.
It is a really interesting book. The book holds your interest due to the fact it's telling you about everyday life, okay? Chapter 1, basically, he's just dreaming about how his life is going to be at college. And if you can get past chapter 1 of the book, you can get past the whole book, okay? Chapter 1, he's basically dreaming, and during his dreaming period of the book, it's like you're sitting there actually talking to him one-on-one. Chapter 2 tells you basically about his freshman year, and after the book go on to tell you about his whole life during college. And the book, I mean, it actually holds your interest. You know, it tells you the good points about his college career, it tells you about his bad points. He really has some downing points. It makes you want to cry at one point, then the book makes you laugh. But all in all, the book was really good. I mean, I liked it myself. It's given me a lot of inspiration about going to school. And I really enjoyed the book.
The book taught me that one of the most important things about a person is your individuality, having self-respect, having self-confidence, and believing in yourself and believing in your beliefs. Being your own individual despite the society in which you live in. And it teaches you that you do not have to accept the norms of your society. It teaches you to be your own person and to set your own goals. And if you follow these rules, you will find yourself in leadership positions. Reaching for the Moon explains the book because it's all about reaching for your goals. And as far as the moon is away from us as individuals, that's how far your goal is away. But by believing in yourself, you will see yourself coming closer and closer to the moon in your goal. I believe his purpose in writing the book was for the book to be a consolation to Afro-Americans, or really individuals representing all races, that they're going to encounter problems in their life, and life is a struggle, but with a positive attitude and self-confidence, self-respect, you can reach your goal, and you can reach whatever position you want to in life. The poems in the book informs a person of how to deal with the problem.
The question is quite ironic, and it varies from mind to mind. What is the purpose of life and living? The question comes up from time to time. Well, the answer is short and it's simple, and it brings happiness to an extreme. For the purpose of life and living is the fulfillment of a dream.
Oh, I could sing you times and reason to lay your burdens softly down. Kings and prophets dead for freedom, precious dreams imprisoned underground. But I've got this song that I sing, and I'll make the mountains ring. Tell my mama that I am homeward bound. Could you believe in a dream when I tell you that it's true? And could you believe, precious, precious friend of mine? Would you believe when it seems you are glad with what you do? It'll give you courage to carry, give you courage to carry mine, just to carry your spirit up on high, Lord, just to carry your spirit up on high, up on high. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna carry. Oh,
I'm not usually reading books a lot like adults, but adults always say that we should read more. But when I started reading Mr. Bullock's book, I got into it and I really liked it because, you know, it sort of reminded me of my predicament, you know, and it's surprising where he is, you know, where he's at today, and he did the stuff we did to make us believe, make us, you know, inspire us to do the same thing. And you can be poor, you grew up in a small town, and you can still become a doctor or president of the United States anything you want.
It's like you wrote a book about me, because I'm going through the same things like.
I found it interesting because it talked about college life, and I'll be going to college, so it was interesting.
Jay Bonda, I know he dreams a lot, and he is full of ambition, as he says in his poem.
You see the same light that brought the children through. Yes, it is. And it's the same light yeah, 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 that brings the spirit through. I'll believe, I'm gonna believe, I'm gonna believe, I'm going to believe, I'm gonna believe, I'm gonna believe. Oh yes, I do believe. Oh yes, I do believe. I'm going to believe. I'm gonna believe, y'all. And I gotta believe. I gotta believe. I gotta believe. My daddy taught me to believe. My mama taught me to believe. And I believe. And I believe. I believe. I believe it. Just believe. 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 Oh, my friend. Try it out one time. Try it out one time, you might find. And you know how to believe. God keep you strong. Amen. This is Tom Kennedy.
The question is quite ironic, and it varies from mind to mind. What is the purpose of life and living? The question comes up from time to time. Well, the answer is short and it's simple. And it brings happiness to an extreme. For the purpose of life and living is the fulfillment of a dream. Okay, as you all know, my name is Jerry Ballhawk, most of you know. And I graduated from Bucknell University in 1979. Long time ago. Very long time ago. From there I went to work for the Roman House Company in the chemical process engineering department. I have my degree in chemical engineering. In that time, I also attended Villanova University at night, where I got my master's in chemical engineering. And also during that time, I wrote a novel, yes, and it's called Reaching for the Moon. And that's why I came here today. I want to share that with you. I want to share some of the poems and discuss the book, and let you know what it's about. And Fulfillment of a Dream is the first poem in that book. But dreams, to me, are what life is all about. I had my dreams. I'm sure that you all have your dreams. And at one time, the dream that I've accomplished wasn't really, I didn't know if it was going to be a reality or not. One of the things that I had going against me was that I wasn't able to afford an education. And then when I went to come to Bucknell, everybody told me, says, why do you want to come to Bucknell? It's a predominantly white school. You're not going to fit in. There are a bunch of rednecks there. I got all this discouragement. Okay? So seeing that because I was poor, because I was black, it seemed to be an odd against me. But the one thing that I had going for me, not the one thing, but one of the things that I had going for me was that I was full of ambition. I wanted it bad, and I did everything I needed to get here. I studied hard. I applied for aid. But because of that, I wrote another poem, and it's called Poor, Black, and Full of Ambition. Because to be poor, black, and full of ambition, searching and reaching for that good living, feeling the pain of so long ago, and hoping that knowledge would help me let go. Hanging on to the roots of my past, being confused by norms changing so fast, getting a taste of the wonders of life, just enough to make you fight for what's right. Seeing a change in yourself and the world. And isn't it nice to see? Having been poor, black, and full of ambition, it wasn't such a bad thing to be. And that's poor, black, and full of ambition. Now these poems, they describe what's going on in the book. Because what I described is the struggles of getting into college. And I described, you know, some of the uncertainties that were going on inside of me. And that's what it was, trying to get into college. Fears that I was poor, black, and I wasn't going to be able to go where I wanted to go. But I was determined to go. And I ended up here. But it's funny, I remember that first bus ride. And I remember stepping off that bus. I'm sure some of you can remember that. Okay? But even though I had worked hard in school, and even though I was full of ambition, when I got off that bus, and I had to walk toward this campus, it was one of the scariest feelings in my life. And I said to myself, I said, well, I'm not where I want to be. I realized I got to put 4 years in this place, so I'm not really where I want to be. But yet, I am a lot further just because I want to be something. I'm on my way. So I wrote a poem. It was called The Shakespearean Extension. You all heard of Shakespeare, right? For sure. To be or not to be. We all know that, right? Well, I just made an extension. I call it the Shakespearean Extension. What I say is, I may not be as far as I may want to be, but I am a whole lot further from where I would be than if I had not wanted to be. And that's the Shakespearean extension. Well, I got here. It's full of ambition, ready to work hard. And I tell you, I never worked harder than I had ever worked before in my whole life. But you know something? Oh, you know that, huh? It's funny. That first semester, and I found out by talking to other people that the first semester is the hardest semester. Being a freshman, being new, not knowing what to expect, it was the hardest semester for me. Needless to say, it was hard because I almost flunked out. Okay? It was terrible. It was so bad that I became confused. It was at a point that I didn't really know what I wanted to do. First semester. And I wanted to be a chemical engineer so bad. I didn't want to give up, but I had doubts. I had my doubts. I had to sit down. I had to really think about what it was that was keeping me from doing well here. Because performance is something that's very important at a school like Bucknell. You have to perform. And when I did poorly that first semester, a lot of people told me that I didn't have the ability to be a chemical engineer. Now there's a big difference between performance and ability. A big difference. Performance is affected by behavior. And behavior, when I say behavior, I mean things like intensity of effort, how hard you work. Now performance is also affected by expectancies. When I say expectancies, I mean things like what your teachers and what your professors expect from you. For example, if a professor expects you to fail, and he treats you that way, you know, most likely you will fail. There's a lot of research done on this, about expectancies and performance. But I had to reach deep down inside of myself, because everybody was telling me that my ability was not there. But I said, no, I just didn't work hard enough. So I had to reach deep down inside of myself, and there was something else that was missing in me, because I was scared when I first came up here. And the thing that I was missing was a very powerful, powerful tool. It was the power of believing in myself. And I gave it a lot of thought, and I wrote my next poem, and it's called The Power of Believing. The power of believing. It's a gift sent from God. Feeling secure in the unknown. All mysteries are solved. Wanting, needing, desiring. The first steps to it all. Without the power of belief, you won't get very far. The power of believing, when all others will have doubt, will take you to the promised land by just believing in yourself. And when fear is aroused and the spirit is weak, grab a hold to him and say, I know that I can do it. I believe in me that way. The power of believing. To wonder what is true. The feeling of a presence. A dream of something new. To have that extra vision. To see the road you trod. To realize the importance of believing in yourself, your friends, and God. I like that one. Yeah. I was very pleased when I wrote that. Matter of fact, I wrote that in about 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Yeah, 10 minutes. See what believing can get you. Now, second semester came around. I gave up at everything. I didn't party. All I did was eat, sleep, study, and work in the cafeteria. That's all. Washing them dishes. But I cut everything out. I cut out socializing. Everybody's wondering, where's Jared? Where'd he go? Is he around? I was booking. Anybody ask me, where you been at? And I'm booking. They still use that term here or what? I'm booking. Nobody asks any questions, they just leave you alone. I work hard. My intensity of effort, my behavior, my studying patterns just increased tremendously. I just gave up everything. Second semester, I started getting A's and B's. All I did, I even stayed up here during that January. I studied. That's all I did. I I wrestled, but I just studied. Came home and I studied. And needless to say, hey, I brought my cue up tremendously. Hooray, hooray. And I made it back. Boy, that was such a wonderful feeling. And the thing about it is that from the time that first semester, you should have seen me. I had my head down, I was low. I didn't know where I was going. All I wanted to do, sometimes I felt like dying. But now, it's like it was so good to be alive. Of course, I had to express that feeling. And it's called being alive. Feeling right. Feeling good. Doing all the things that you knew you could. Being alive, as good as it could be. You've done all the things that you had to leave. And isn't it nice to know that I told you so? And in the light of day, you can safely say, it's good to be alive. Reflecting back on times gone by, it's good to be alive. You know, it's a funny thing. I started getting A's and B's, and I was talking about this expectancy from your professors and teachers. Some people still felt that maybe I should get out of engineering. And I had such a craving to be an engineer. And something funny about what happened when people told me that I wouldn't make it, I wanted to even. And it was a mystery to me because I got to the point where I wanted to prove that I could be an engineer so bad that I lost track of wanting to be an engineer. And I was more concerned about proving to people that I could be an engineer. You get caught up in that kind of game. And it's bad and it's good. It's bad because you shouldn't have to go through life trying to prove to people something. If you want, you have goals. Like a goal. You should want it because you have that goal, that's your desire, that's what you want to be. But it was a mystery to me because it was my pride that was keeping me in engineering now. It was my pride. And pride is funny, it's a mystery. Because pride makes you do things that you normally wouldn't do. And it's good, bad, whatever. But you have your goals in life. And you know what a goal is. A goal is an ending, you know? But pride sometimes can make you forget what the goal is and make you forget where you want to be, the ending. And all you're in it for is just to go. And you're going, but you got to have that goal in mind. It's like a wall. You want to get to that wall, but it has no side, and you go right past it because you forgot what your goal was. And this was such a mystery to me, I had to write it down. And I call this one the mystery of pride. It's just like a mirror image. When looking in instead of out. It's the essence of dignity. It's the voice that makes you shout. It's the force that keeps you going. It's the strength that never dies. It's the courage of the lion. It's the fear that always hides. It's the source of all aggression. You know, too much won't let you sleep. It's the blood that causes burning. It's the eyes that never weep. It's like that goal that has no ending. It's like the wall that has no side. Strong character without bending. That's the mystery of pride. My pride kept me in there. And it is something that you need. Something that you need tremendously. It keeps you going. It doesn't let you give up. And that's the way it should be, because you shouldn't have to give up. But I did have my rough moments. Because I went up like a sine wave. I had my ups and downs, ups and downs. And it affected me, and there were times I had my hard time, and I still thought of getting out. But I went home one time, and I talked to a young guy on the corner that I used to hang out on, who had dreams of going to college. He used to look up to me. And after talking to him, because I said, well, look, I don't know if I'm going back. He said, what? Why not? I want to go to college. Is it really that rough? You can't give up. You got to set like a role model. And he actually talked me in to really stand in. Now it's funny because wisdom is something I've given a lot of thought. Because you look it up in a dictionary, wisdom is associated with old age. The older you get, the wiser you get. But it's funny because in that young man, I saw a lot of wisdom. So I was a little bit confused. What? I don't know what I'm called the wisdom. Because you see, when the young ask the old, and the old knows the answer, that's experience. And when the old ask the young, and the young knows the answer, now that's wisdom. Now when the old ask the young, and the young ask the old, and neither know the answer, well, that's when it's wise to pray. Now that's wisdom. Funny thing happened. Going to a school like Bucknell, being black in a predominantly white situation, you have a tendency to feel isolated. I'm not saying it happens to everybody, but it happens. You have a tendency to encounter racism. I'm not saying everybody's racist, but it happens. And it happened to me. I experienced some people. I experienced good people. I experienced bad people. Something happened to me because I kind of went into my own little shell. And I kind of didn't want to be bothered with anybody. I felt that there were a lot of injustice going on. When I say that, as far as allowing me to learn the way I should be learning, to participate as a front runner, not just a backseat driver. And sometimes, you know, being black in a white situation, a lot of times you get in a situation where your counterparts expect you to take a back seat. This can happen. Well, I didn't want to take a back seat. So I took a seat by myself. I didn't want to be bothered. And when that happened, I really wanted to get close. I wanted to get close to black people. So I didn't want to study with anybody white. And all I wanted to do was study with somebody black. I said, well, I'll show them. I got caught up into that. But it's a funny thing, because some things happened. See, I was counting on the fact that this was a brother. A brother. Come on, brother, what's happening? You know? Yeah, let's study, let's work hard, let's show them that we can do it. But I found out something. It's not the color of a person's skin. It's the content of their soul. And I was looking for a friend. And I was blinded because I said, well, he's black, and I want to be his friend, and we can work together, and we can accomplish things, you know? But the funny thing is, he was a brother, but not a friend. A haven of false securities, a trust that could not win. You judge the content of the soul. And just because your counterpart has done you wrong, indeed, fear not the trust of others, and trust not the ones of me. The brother is symbolic, an idea that served us well. In the times of moving forward, beware of egos that have swelled. And in the struggles that still exist, expecting loyalty to the end. So the answer to the question is, he was a brother, but not a friend. And it opened my eyes, because then I started looking for just good people. But it's funny because, like I said, I was going up and down like a sine wave, my emotion, my grade, everything. I was like up, down, strong, weak. And I had a bunch of people who told me my destiny. And they tried to, I thought they could tell when I was having a hard time. Because that's when they come out, when you're weak. And they say, well, I don't think that you're going to make it. I don't think that, or I think that you should change your major, or I think that you're a people person. Forget all this scientific nonsense. I don't think you can handle it. I call these people prophets. Because they're always trying to tell you who you are and what your destiny is. You're going to find that you get that throughout your life, whether it's in academia, whether it's in the business world. Oh, I don't think you're ready for this promotion. Well, I don't think you're capable of being promoted to a manager or whatever the case may be. There's always going to be somebody telling you what it is that you should be doing and what you should be doing with your life. The prophet. When I was told, I did not want to know. And what I was told, I did not believe. And why I was told? I don't know. Where I was told, don't ask me, because I was lost. But don't you believe in destiny? Yes, I do. but not your interpretation. I'll make my own destiny if you don't mind. Because a man's best prophet is himself. Man, woman, person, best prophet is themselves. To see the sparkle in the darkness that allows you to see the way, the telling of the future, predicting the coming day, knowing truth when you see it, from false lyrics and hymns, seeking one's own destiny from the prophet that's within. The prophet. You know, it's a funny thing, because when you get cocky like that, and when people try to tell you what you should be doing with your life, and you're bold enough to say, look, Savior, I know what I'm going to do. I don't need your advice. You're giving me bad advice. I don't need your advice. I'm going to do what I want to do. Funny thing happens. The question comes up. You know what that question is? Who do you think you are? People ask that question. When you feel like as though you're going to, you figure out what it is that you have to do. And you go ahead and do it. You work hard, and you know what you want. Nothing's going to deter you from what you want. And you just like say, I'm not going to listen to anybody. People say, who does he think he is? Well, who are you? I got that. Who do you think you are? And you know, I stopped and I really thought about it. Who am I? And I thought about it. Thought, who am I? Then I finally realized I'm nobody. Trying to become somebody. I'm weakness. Trying to become strength. I'm ignorant. Trying to become wise. I'm doubtful. Trying to become a believer. I'm lost. Trying to become found. You ask, who am I? I'll tell you. I am trying. Give me credit for that. That's who I am. You know, as you all know, I did graduate from Bucknell. Okay, I got my degree. But in the book, what I do is, and those poems describe points of my life. You know, sometimes if you don't understand the poem, you have to read the book to understand the poem. But the poems explain what's going on in the book inside of me and conflicts that I'm going through, conflicts that I had with myself, conflicts that I had with other people, both black and white. It also shows some good times, graduation. And I did have some good times here. But one of the things I do is I dream. And I dream, in the book, I go into this imaginary world of mine. It's like a dream state, where I'm floating in space. And I'm trying to reach this moon. That's where I get the name of the book from, Reaching for the Moon. Because the dream comes from when I was younger. Someone once told me, they said, boy, you got to reach. You got to reach for the very best that you can think of. In other words, you got to reach for the moon. And even if you don't make it to the moon, well, at least you're amongst the stars. And hey, that's all right too. Ever since I was told that, in the back of my mind, I imagined I'm floating in space, and I got this imaginary moon off in the distance. And it begins from when I first get into Bucknell, right on that bus, to when I graduate. And I'm floating in space, and I'm getting closer and closer to the moon as the years go by. And of course, finally, I land on the moon. My feet touch the ground. And it's a glorious feeling. Well, I end this book with a poem. And it's called Reaching for the Moon. The journey has its beginning in the darkness of the mind. Discovering one's ambitions. No limits to space or to time. So far away from destiny, the ship of our dreams afloat. Learning the power of believing, and through believing, the power of hope. Encountering obstacles on the way. Some seem to hinder the quest, but it's through experience and wisdom that these obstacles, they bring out our best. Looking at life around us, ain't it good to be alive? Others wonder how we keep going. It's no mystery. It's just a matter of pride. And prophets will try to tell you, even though you know what's at end. And when the smoke has cleared away, when you discover just who are your friends, and at the end of the lunar journey, when your feet have touched the ground, take a second to enjoy the glory. But then get ready, because there are more moons around. You gotta reach. You gotta reach for the very best that you can think of. In other words, you gotta reach for the moon. And even if you don't make it to the moon, well, at least you're amongst the stars. And hey, that's all right too. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a good time. Thank you very much. This was my debut for college. I gave this lecture at one of the high schools. And I got a program started there where they're reading the book. And the book is designed for high school and college students. And I figured who better to critique the book than high school kids. So they're reading the book right now. And when I get the book reports in May, I'm going to sit down. The book is pretty much finished, but I want to go over it one more time. And when I get the book reports, we see if we get some good comments, then the book will be published later on throughout this year. Okay. I graduated from Bucknell, and I made my first debut at Bucknell. So it's still, I shouldn't say honored, but yeah, you can feel honored. Go on. But the book is about, right now, the scene is at Bucknell. And the book is based on my experiences. It's not really a true story, but I say that it's based on my experiences. And what I do is I take my experiences from Bucknell, from Roman Haas, and Villanova. Because I found, you know, one of the things when I was here, and I'm sure you all feel this way, when you're here, it seems like this place is an imaginary place. Like this is not the real world. Go ahead. Because this is reality. It is. And I found that the experiences that I've had here are the experiences that I've had in the company, are the experiences that I had at another university, are the experiences of life. Thank you.
What I liked about what I read on your book was it wasn't all a negative book. The memories of the past that we all had to struggle with were not viewed as bad things or negative things, but as things that strengthen us. You know, a lot of people live in Norfolk, you know, in somewhere in their mind, they're better than everybody else in Norfolk and talk down on all the experiences there. But if it wasn't for those experiences, you wouldn't be the person you are.
My name is Tamika Nicole Adams. I'm presently a senior at Benjamin Franklin High School, and I want to become a registered nurse, which takes 4 years of schooling and possibly a DON, which is a director of nursing, which would take 4 more years of school. My total career demands 8 years of schooling.
Nicholas Lawson from Benjamin Franklin High School. My dream is to become a broadcast journalist. I think the book will be a success because there are a lot of youth that can benefit from the instruction that the book provides, providing them with self-confidence, self-respect, and believing in themselves as an individual. It teaches them not to accept the norms of society, but accept and establish their own values.
My name is Engelbert Arwillian, and I go to Ben Franklin High School.
Maurice Hicks, Benjamin Franklin High School.
My name is Terrence Rice. I go to Benjamin Franklin High School. And hopefully I'll become a lawyer. That's what I want to be.
My name is Jerome Griddle, and I attend Benjamin Franklin High School. My dreams in life, first I'm going to be a soldier, join the armed forces. And then what that do is help pay for my tuition to go to college.
You gotta reach. You gotta reach for the very best that you can think of. In other words, you gotta reach for the moon. And even if you don't make it to the moon, well, at least you're amongst the stars. And hey, that's all right too. God keep you strong.